if you follow me on socials, you would have saw my highlight on the audio update I was working on. Well, let's just say it didn't work. Not for lack of the piece itself working, but for my soldering skills. Let's get into it. Yeah, like I said, the module itself was fine. The issue came in my lack thereof skills to get everything soldered up properly. It was my first time soldering and working with tolerances that small with a Harbor Freight $4 soldering iron didn't go so well. So instead of a totally new solution, I went with the simplest solution. Put the mic on the outside. Something as simple as just putting it right out there fixed 90% of my audio issues. Before, it was something close to just putting a mic in a box. So every little touch around you heard, which was fine because we weren't totally using it, but to have that option to actually use it at times, it wasn't great. So a solution definitely had to be found, and well, cutting a hole and just sticking the USB through it and gluing the mic on the outside was the simplest option. The next update was something also on the simple side. It was locking the white balance. So before, we had the white balance set to just auto white balance, which was fine, except for during times of the party where you would get flashing lights from the DJ, especially if they were blue. You would get a completely different white balance popping up from the camera trying to update to this new light. So instead, we took it and we just locked it at 5600. That's usually what you would see on most Super 8 film. So it made it kind of easy to just kind of lock it at that warmer tone. You do get, obviously, indoors a bit warmer of a look than you would normally want, but in post-production, it does make it simpler that you could just go in and edit for the whole clip, and you're not looking at those quick and jarring variances throughout the video. Now, going through the list on all the other small updates we've done on my new, for all the nerds out there, the VWoods AI Paper Mini, not a sponsor. No more slider for audio. I'll show you here. It is a simple up and down. It goes up plus or minus 5 each time. The slider with the touchscreen was just getting a little too finicky. So now at 50, it is no gain at all. 100 is double, and 0 is obviously 0. On the PC side and the software, I added in a simple folder picker. Makes it easy. You could, whether you're doing batch or not, just pick the output folder. Otherwise, it just defaults to the usual folder it came from. Last but not least, especially when working in the field with this camera, a format button, which you would think would be easy, but was a little difficult because of how it saves everything. All of the files are saved in the video folder itself. You can delete the video folder, but you have to make sure that you keep the number tracker. So as you record and as you delete, you keep whatever number file you're on. And then, even though it ends up in the trash, you have to empty your trash. So with one button, and then clicking OK to make sure you want to do it, you can simply delete all of the folders from your video folder. You can keep the number tracker, and it empties your trash. That is big when on a full memory card, I can get about 23 minutes and 20 seconds at 18 frames. So something like that. Before, I was manually going through and deleting each one because it's such a small screen I couldn't click and drag. Now right on the main screen, simple button, gets it all done for you. All of these updates have just been little tweaks as I've used it. I've only used it on 2 Sweet 16s, so nothing too crazy. I do have a wedding coming up that I'm hoping to use it on to get a bit more footage. But here is some of the footage that I didn't already show, just to give an idea of what it looks like in different lighting scenarios.
I'm not getting in. Oh, we have the seats cool. It's my hair. It's definitely best places to visit. It's great. Yeah.
Alright, so that's a look at some of the updates I've done. If you guys have any suggestions on what I should add or change, let me know. If you have any suggestions on what I should film with this, besides my usual content that I have to do for work, let me know. I would love to collab. I would love to use this camera more than what I am using it right now. So yeah, give me your thoughts in the comments. Like and subscribe. See you next time.